Hello and welcome to the podcast. In this episode, I wanted to talk about painful experiences. A painful experience that you may well have had more than once. I certainly have. And that experience goes along the following lines. We know someone, kind of, or at least we thought we did. And then they go and do something or say something, and we're absolutely astounded by what they said or did. Not astounded in a good way, however. It's like, what? I cannot believe you did that. I cannot believe you said that. I would never do that. I would never have said that. Oh my gosh, we're not even angry. We're knocked sideways. We may be feeling betrayed, confused, hollow. It's dreadful. It's horrible. Now, there can be several reasons for that having occurred, but one thing that can cause us to be knocked sideways to that extent is because of something which I call value attribution error. And before I unpack that, let me ask you the question. How is it that we navigate the world, the planet? How do we meander through it? Well, yes, you could argue we walk along pavements and drive cars, etc. What I mean is we don't actually really take on board all of reality, so we use shortcuts. Things go through filters, lenses, if you will. We make assumptions. We have our beliefs, we have our paradigms, we have our frames of reference, we have our conditioning, which can come from culture, the media, parents. We presume, for example, a door handle will tend to be pulled downwards to open the door. So those shortcuts, those ways of interacting with the real world, those can also apply to people. So we make these presumptions about them. And even although they may not say them out loud, we can presume that they would value the same things that we value. And it is often the case that when we are knocked sideways, it's because someone who we thought we knew, again, at least a little, well, apparently they don't value the same thing. You may value, for example, the truth, the need to tell the truth, for people to be honest, to be transparent. And we would do what we can to protect that value. No, we cannot lie. We cannot obfuscate that. Yes, it's going to be difficult if we allow this to be made public, but we need to allow it to be made public because it is the truth. And I value that, and I will do what I can to protect it. Same thing with helping someone in need, particularly if we've got the wherewithal to help them. We may well believe that's important, but we value it. We value a society. We'll protect that society. We'll do things to help bolster up a society which realizes, which recognizes that those who need our help get that help if we can remotely provide it. And when someone then tells some egregious lie, they act in a way that by that language has caused us and or other people damage. It's like, what? But that's a lie. You don't even care. You've no conscience about it, it would seem. And different example, you had the capacity to help those people over there and they are in desperate need and you knew about it and you could have helped and you didn't. I'm astounded and I'm aghast at that. This is where we realize this individual didn't value what we valued. And so how do we protect against that? Well, there are many situations that this type of thing can crop up in. And so I can't talk about all of them, not even remotely. But what I would say is that we need to be cautious. I don't think cynicism is a good idea, but I think it's more along the lines of caveat emptor, buyer beware, be cautious, look around. Yes, there are people that we've known for a while. They're tried and tested and trusted. Thank goodness. But people who we still don't really know, particularly in different situations, we need to be cautious of, particularly these days. And if someone comes in, let's just take an example, and they seem too good to be true. Let's stick to the work example, but this could also apply, of course, to outside work. But they seem too good to be true. They get you in a way that other people don't seem to get you. You feel a bit special. You feel a bit privileged. Maybe you're getting invited to certain meetings and so on. Then also check out your intuition. If your intuition is saying there's something not right here, trust that intuition. And I would suggest doing a couple of things, and this can transfer over into other situations where you think, there's something not quite right with this individual. My intuition is telling me this situation's wrong. Two things: talk to other people, cross-reference. Don't let anyone isolate you. Don't get seduced by power or being in the in crowd, whatever it may be. Talk to other people. Spread your concerns. Again, be very cautious about who you talk to that about, and make it confidential, but talk to other people. And I would suggest that if someone is too good to be true, you're feeling a little bit isolated, and they start asking you to do something that you think, oh, I don't know about that. Like, don't take the minutes of that meeting, forget about it. Or maybe as a one-off, you may comply. Or, do you know what? You don't have to record that figure because we'll get back to that later. And your intuition's saying, no, don't do that. Then take the minutes, record the figure, and notice the reaction. And they may say, well, why did you do that? Well, we don't need it. Or really, you've given yourself extra work. Well, fair enough. But if they go a little bit mad, angry, I said to you specifically, no meeting minutes. I said to you, don't record that figure. There's something else going on. And once more, this is an example that you may never have experienced, but hopefully you'll get the gist of it. When something's too good to be true, when someone is in some way trying to make you feel special, when someone is it seems to get you, seems to flatter you too much in too many different ways, in work and indeed outside. It could be love. Let me not be Scrooge at Christmas, thou shalt not have love this Christmas. Let me not be that person. It could be that. But again, I think you'd probably know it. And still, you should be double checking with people. But certainly when it's not that romantic thing going on, be cautious, be aware, because what you may be falling into is presuming that this individual will act in a way that you would consider to be moral and ethical, that they would act in alignment roughly with your values, and you may not have a clue about what they actually value. And so how do we avoid it? Caution, not cynicism. Talking to other people. Don't get isolated. If it seems too good to be true, it may well be. Trust your intuition, and in certain situations, push back just a little bit. If someone overreacts to that, that's a real red flag. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you are still with the video, thank you very much for watching and listening this long. And if you have subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps in very many different ways. And let me know what you think. What are your red flags? Have you been in that situation? Have you found yourself really just knocked sideways because someone acted in a way that you just couldn't quite comprehend, and then in retrospect, or perhaps even after watching this video, you've realized that they didn't value what you valued at all? For the moment, for me, bye for now.